Good afternoon. Welcome to the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank. I'm Jared Floyd. Happy Thursday. And as folks wrap up the workday and get ready for a Thursday night, for some, it involves some high school football. For others, just maybe some Thursday night dinner plans. We do have some spotty storms across the region, mainly across southern Arkansas. We'll get to that in just a minute. And we'll also take a look at Gabrielle and the latest drought monitor as well. Today's forecast made possible by ServPro with 3 locations in Monroe, West Monroe, Shreveport, and Natchez to serve you. Visit servpro.com for more. The satellite across the area this afternoon does show quite the number of active thunderstorms across western Arkansas and eastern Oklahoma. And numerous thunderstorms have become severe as the afternoon has progressed, mainly in the form of hail, but there have also been some gusty winds, and that's prompted a severe thunderstorm watch that's out across southern portions of Missouri, where the more organized storm threat will reside through the rest of the afternoon. For our locations, the rain has been a little bit more muted. As you take a look at the radar made possible by Brown's Roofing, brownsroofingla.com, and you can see that most of the isolated storms that we've developed today have been generally outside of our area, but still across western Arkansas. If you know friends or family that are traveling in that area, be aware of that. As you move into northern Louisiana, we've had a collision of outflow boundaries that have led to some afternoon storms across northeastern Texas and northwestern Louisiana, but most of that, again, has stayed outside of our area. What we've seen activity-wise has really been in the last half hour or so, and while we've had some lone storms out over East Carroll and West Carroll parishes, those have tended to fizzle. And the most vigorous thunderstorm activity is right along Highway 165, just west of Highway 165 in southeastern Drew County, and then across portions of the Ashley and Chico County line, east of Montrose, east of Highway 165 along Highway 82, as you move toward Lake Village. So, again, that's where we're seeing some active weather. And there's also one little lone storm in and around, right around Warren, and kind of sitting right over town, and that's also probably producing some heavy downpours to be had as well. Robert wants to know, when do we get cooler weather again? Well, I have some news in that regard in the 7-day forecast. I don't think it's anything anybody's going to be overly excited about, but it's better than what we're seeing right now. Low to mid-90s for the most part. Some rain-cooled areas, obviously, here and there. 88 Lake Providence, 89 Greenville, 91 Vicksburg. But most of us are still firmly in the low 90s this afternoon. This is the latest updated drought monitor, and you can see those moderate drought conditions have expanded across much of southeastern Arkansas and western Mississippi, now firmly into Washington and Issaquah counties, and then stretching into southeastern Arkansas. You see the severe drought conditions for portions of Bradley and Drew, Ashley and Chico counties as well, and then the abnormally dry conditions kind of spreading out across the region. So we need some rainfall, and we've seen some over the last 24 hours. Radar estimates are pretty scattered and fairly light for the region. And for those in the Monroe area wondering, man, this has got to be one of the driest Septembers we've ever had. Not even close. I checked, and here's the numbers for Monroe, and we've seen about 1 1/3 inches of rainfall so far this month, and that doesn't even crack the top 25. It definitely does not crack the top 10. I don't know what was going on in 1931, but we didn't get anything that year. And you can see that 2016 was a pretty dry summer or September. 2019, 2022, a lot of 2000 level numbers, but also some that date back quite a bit as well. So again, those are a look at some of the driest Septembers in Monroe. A look at the futurecast made possible by Bayou Power Sports, I-20 Frontage Road in Monroe, and with the scattered storm potential to our northwest, we could see some of those leftovers. Some of the leftover boundaries, the trough of low pressure that's kind of decaying across the region, but along with that, just the outflow boundaries that are kind of progressing eastward through the region tomorrow could help to collide with the warm, humid air and develop more scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Again, placement's going to be tough. I would think the best chances will be across southern Arkansas by early to mid-afternoon. Once that threat clears, I think for Saturday we're back relegated to just the isolated little pop-up showers and storms. By the middle parts of next week, we may actually see a more noticeable change to the forecast, a somewhat stronger front. I don't want to call it a cold front, but it could bring some added cloud cover and the rain chances back in middle parts of next week. You'll see that in the 7-day forecast in just a minute. Tropical satellite, and Gabrielle actually has some convection thunderstorm activity towards the storm's center. It's right smack dab in the middle of the screen. It doesn't look like much, but you can see the cloud swirl on the infrared satellite. Again, not necessarily the most robust tropical storm we've ever seen, but the tropical forecast made possible by our friends at Russell Moore Lumber shows maximum sustained winds at 50 miles per hour and still expected to endure some dry air intrusion and some shear issues over the next few days. But if it can survive and kind of slough off all that stuff, expected to hit a more favorable environment, find a weakness in the ridge of high pressure to the north, makes its northerly turn, and then eventually a northeasterly turn. Official Hurricane Center forecast now has it up to a Category 2 by Monday afternoon to the east of Bermuda. Again, doesn't look like it's going to threaten the U.S. by any stretch, but obviously travelers in the North Atlantic would need to keep an eye on that. Lows tonight near 70 degrees. Clouds continue. If you're heading out to the Washita-Sterlington game, we did a forecast for that earlier. We'll keep an eye on the isolated storm potential kickoffs in about 2 hours. Right now, everything looks fine. Things could look a lot different in 2 hours, especially with these little pop-up storms. But so far, all systems go for what should be an interesting and fun game in Washita Parish. I know there's other Thursday night games out there as well, at least a few in the area. And it'll be warm to start, most of us falling into the 70s. If you are headed out to the Monroe Chamber Golf Tournament tomorrow, 2 flights out at the beautiful Frenchman's Bend Golf Course, I will be part of the afternoon flight, Team Digital Weather Desk. We won't be any good, but we will have fun. And the afternoon flighters, you probably have the better chance of running into the afternoon thunderstorms. If I'm out there and it starts raining, bring all your best jokes. I've heard them all. Come up with some good material if you're going to razz me about the weather. Morning flight should be okay, and we'll all be around at lunchtime. If you're out there tomorrow, please say hello. For the rest of us tomorrow, daytime highs in the low to mid-90s. Scattered storms again possible through the afternoon. So for high school football plans tomorrow night, storms will be a possibility, especially I would think best chances would be in the south and eastern sections of the coverage area. So the southern parishes in Louisiana and western Mississippi probably have the best chance there. Again, not saying that with an overwhelmingly high degree of certainty considering the scattered nature of what we've been dealing with. 7-day forecast made possible by 3B Outdoor Equipment, the exclusive outdoor power equipment company of the Digital Weather Desk. And the rain chances still lingering for Saturday. I dropped them down to 10% for Saturday afternoon, but they're still there, and they may need to even go back up to 20%. I know Tech and Grambling are both home this weekend, and they both kick off 6-ish to Saturday evening, so we'll keep an eye on isolated storms. It'll still be hot. Sunday, spotty storms, same story for Monday, but then by Tuesday, Wednesday, we start maybe weaseling a weak cold front into the region. That could knock highs back into the 80s during that stretch, which would be pretty nice considering how hot and miserable the last several days have been, and so on and so forth. Kathy, thank you so much for joining us. Betty, good evening. I hope everybody is enjoying their Thursday evening so far. A reminder that the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank, is made possible 100% free to you by the local businesses that you see there on your screen. Cannot thank all of them enough for making this possible. How do you support it? It's simple. Follow us on your favorite social media platforms. Like, comment, and share the content, especially when the weather really starts to turn sideways and more folks need to really see that information. That's where those shares really, really come in handy. And aside from that, like I said, just be a part of the conversation. Any word on the app? I sent an email about that today. I have not heard back yet. And hoping it is not available yet, not available for download. Still talking days to couple of weeks. I know that, again, once it gets sent off to the Apple and Google folks, it's kind of out of our hands. We're not quite there yet. But again, just want to try to provide as much transparency as possible in full honesty. I have not received an update in the last couple of days. So as soon as I know one, I'll know one. And then you'll know one. May, thanks so much for joining. Sharon, thanks so much for the question. I know folks are excited about the app. It is going to be a very important heart of this whole thing in terms of me being able to communicate to you, push alerts, things like that, specific alerts, and ways that I can communicate to you and with you when needed, even when the weather is active but not necessarily severe. Severe, everybody knows where to find me, and those live streams are there. But again, very, very excited to bring that to you and make sure that all of that is all wrapped into one. So the forecast that you get here is tied into the one that you get at digitalweatherdesk.com, which is tied into the one that you get on the app, and it's all simpatico. All right, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the game tonight out at Sterlington. It should be a doozy. I'll keep an eye on the radar just in case. If you're headed out to the Monroe Chamber tournament tomorrow, do not make fun of my golf swing. I have not played much this summer because we've been trying to launch this, and I have a baby at home. So, again, golf swing is what it is. If you find one of my golf balls, please return it. Thanks so much for joining us on this Thursday. I'll catch you back here first thing tomorrow morning as well with more of the Digital Weather Desk.